Meet Margaret. Margaret is 88 years old and lives with dementia. Throughout her life, she loved learning, practicing her faith, and spending time outdoors. These were not just interests, they were a huge part of who Margaret is. As Margaret's dementia progressed, she moved into care. She became subject to several deprivation of liberty safeguards, also known as DOLs. This means decisions were being made about her care and where she lived to help keep her safe. Over a period of 3 years, Margaret lived in several care homes, but was never able to settle. During this time, Margaret became increasingly distressed and unhappy. She withdrew from staff and other residents, spent long periods of time alone in her bedroom, and displayed behaviours that showed her needs were not being met. Margaret was supported by an independent advocate in the role of relevant person's representative, known as an RPR. From the beginning, the advocate could see that Margaret's experience in the care home was not meeting all her needs. Margaret's dolls clearly recorded what was important to her, spending time outside, gardening, and practicing her faith. However, in practice, these things were not happening. Margaret was not being supported to go outdoors or to practice her faith. Her days passed without the things that brought her comfort and helped her feel like herself. At every visit, the advocate asked whether Margaret had been supported to go outside or to practice her faith. Each time, the answer was no. On one visit, the advocate supported Margaret into the garden. The difference was immediate. Margaret smiled, became animated, and confidently named the plants and flowers around her. She spoke about her love for being outdoors. In that moment, Margaret was calm, engaged, and happier. Despite this clear evidence of what helped Margaret, no lasting changes were made. Her wishes continued to be ignored, her distress continued, and she was still not being listened to. This is where advocacy made a real difference. On Margaret's behalf, her advocate contacted a solicitor to ask a judge in the Court of Protection to review Margaret's situation and decide what was in her best interests. The advocate worked closely with the solicitor and continued visiting Margaret, providing regular updates so the court could clearly understand how the placement was affecting her day-to-day life. The court decided that it was in Margaret's best interest to move to a different care home, one that recognised her personal values and interests and planned her care around what mattered to her. When the advocate visited Margaret in her new home, she was smiling and laughing. She was calm, relaxed, and said that she felt happy. Staff described Margaret as settled, eating well, and enjoying chatting with the staff and other residents. The manager spoke about involving Margaret in choosing plants and flowers for the garden, valuing her knowledge and interests. They also made sure she would have regular opportunities to practice her faith. Without an advocate, Margaret's distress may have continued unnoticed and unchallenged. Advocacy ensured her rights were upheld, she was listened to, and meaningful changes were made to improve her life. Advocacy didn't just help Margaret move to a different care home, it helped restore her dignity, identity, and her quality of life.